Hello, and welcome back to Tectonica. While we were sitting here accumulating science, letting everything run, I basically wanted all of my basics to fill up their output areas. A couple things happened. First of all, this little balancing act I've been doing with my gardens, uh, where sometimes I would take the plant matter fiber off to the side and turn it into something else. Um, it turned out to be a bad idea because we would back up because full of Kindle vine extract, and we wouldn't have any plant matter, so our explosives would shut down. And then I would turn the plant matter off, and we accumulate. So I have detached all of that. So these farms are feeding only the explosives, which are going out and being used, and we'll start building up again here. This has actually been running a while to recover. It took a while to get back to here. Um, if we are producing more explosives than we are using, which I think we are, we should start building up some explosives in the box. That uses three of the four products. The fourth product is grass, which we are stockpiling if we are not using it all. And it is going to make uh, biobrick. So this area here on Victor is now recognized as being critical to our operations. It's turning out enough fuel and enough mining charges to run the rest of the base. Now, if we were to fill up our plant matter buffer here, we've actually done this, again, that would stop the shiverthorn extract from. That means I no longer have a handy source for additional Kindle vine extract or shiverthorn extract. Also means that we are probably not going to want to expand our mining charge usage. If I want to do more mining somewhere, I will have to adjust my charge delivery so that my miners only get one charge instead of three. So we'll have to start conserving, or we'll have to build bigger. But we do have enough Kindle vine and shiverthorn plants / seeds to build. Let's see, what have I got in my seeds? 224 Kindle vine seeds and 297 shiverthorn seeds. Plus we've got almost 500 Kindle vine and over 100 shiverthorn. So we could put down more farms. In my previous playthrough, I actually set up a mega farm, well, mega garden. I set up a farm. This is really just a garden. I set up a farm in the barracks area where we had the building that had the farm in it. I tried to scale it similarly. I think I ended up with 32 platters for each one. Kind of interesting build. Only 30 really got used because I was using a Mark II thresher to service all of the plants from the gardens, and 30 gardens keeps one of those busy. That was enough for quite a bit. In fact, it was enough for an overbuild in a lot of ways. But I think what I'm going to do is focus on using something like this, maybe duplicate it, maybe go to Mark II miners and double the number of gardens here. Maybe we'll just upgrade this in place. You can see that I've narrowed this down, so we're using fewer seeds. I was thinking ahead. I did that refactor so I could remove all but the right number of seeds from here. Now, this is currently holding, each one of these got 4 that are in here plus 1 in there. So that's 50, and I put another 10, so we could have 10 plants and seeds that are either on the raceway in the middle being ready to pick up, or being delivered as plants here, or being threshed. 10 seems to be enough to keep a few on the race. One way you can do this, if you don't want to do the math, is just dump them all in, and once you're completely steady state, just take them all off the raceway and then plop down enough on the raceway so that they're kind of scattered. They will tend to randomize over time because when you pick up a seed from the raceway, time is, I can't say random, but it's distributed across where on the raceway it is. And the bigger the gap before a seed, the higher the probability you'll pick it up. That's actually an argument for the raceway tending to clump. Anyway, in practice, what I've noticed is that the raceway will tend to level out. Maybe it's because we're basically tossing seeds in periodically here. I don't know. Anyway. What are we doing here? Our goal for today is to get Victor, finish upgrading Victor, and start working out what technologies we need to attack the sand levels. And just thinking ahead, I'm thinking I want to dig with the excavator first. I want to open up more levels. Then we'll see what researches are on which levels, and we'll work out which levels we want to pump out first. Because I don't think it's necessary to pump them out in order. And if a later level has some easily reachable unlockables, make pumping easier, we want to go for that. So Victor, we need conveyor belt Mark IIIs, advanced circuits, and power. I noticed as I was picking things up that I actually had a whole bunch of Mark II conveyor belts on me, and I had a bunch of other parts. So I dropped down a assembler, and yeah, I've got 790 Mark III belts. That's what you see down there. Yeah, so let's do the upgrade. We haven't automated the Mark III belts yet, for reasons that I went into in our last recording. So our next thing will be simpler Mark IIs and relay circuits. Well, look at what we've got. Despite the fact that they're difficult to build, we did build up some. The Victor has been upgraded.
New technologies and recommended tasks available.
One more upgrade to go before we max this terminal out, Breaker. Amazing work, Breaker. You've maxed this terminal out. Between this, PT X-ray, and the freight elevator, you've done all you can here. And if you haven't even fixed the freight elevator yet, you are my kind of groundbreaker.
I wonder if you get an achievement if haven't fixed the freight elevator at this point, because we totally could have just ignored the freight elevator. That depends on what was in that back room. It doesn't open until you fix it. I may think about that. So we're going to go back to admin. Oh, the other thing is we have now filled up our blue science. We now have all 4,000 blues. So got pink and blue to work with. We are at the top of X-ray. So we're at the top of Victor. Just opened up 6 and T7. We're going to unlock everything. So threshing speed 3, so our threshers are now at 150% base speed. So first threshing, instead of handling 10 gardens, can now handle exactly 15. And they are increased their biobrick density, so biobricks are now even better fuel. Bigger packs, bigger tool. We still haven't put in any monorails. None of our bases are big enough to require. Unlock everything. I am hoping that 4,000 gets me end of the 190 cubes left, and we have to put down another poser if we want to go higher. So X-ray is complete, Victor is complete, Lima is complete. So now the question is, what kind of science will I need to unlock all this stuff? We can't see that because we haven't repaired Sierra. So before we continue, part of this playthrough is recognizing that I need to tear down stuff that is no longer building anything interesting, and we no longer need any of them. $3,996. So actually, we need just 4 more to max that out. Let's put down assembler. And what do we need for blue? We need those and some of those and some of those. That will do. Oh, I put down a Mark 1 instead of a Mark 2. Okay, we'll have to let it run for 2 cycles. Box over there to put any spare purple cubes in. I probably should have waited and actually checked to make sure we were full here before tearing it apart, but there we go. We are full. Whole area is turned into nothing. There we go. The Victor is turning out our fuel and our explosives. It is a place where we've kept our stockpile. Farms we could now rebuild bigger, and we'll hold off on that temporarily. Going to need to do that. Not long in the future. Okay, just a quick monitor here on admin that we're frames a second. Notice nothing is moving. This has been running for a time. I place to stand here where I can watch the belts. I let myself sit here like this and I can see the belts move. Everything is full. So if I need any of these parts, I can come by and pick them. Complicated parts? These should be significant quantities thing. Now we have our Mark 1s. We haven't automated the Mark 2s, Mark 3. I definitely want Mark 3s, which means I specifically need the Mark 3 belts, I need the stack inserters, and I need the stack filter inserters. Mark 2s first. Let's take this step by step. And over here, we have modest production of ceramic tiles and ceramic parts. Using our stockpiles of stuff. Oh, we have run out of Shiverthorn extract there. Still have a stockpile of dirt we're working from. Still have a stockpile of grass, which I can augment a little bit here. So, the Mark II stuff. So, drills. Well, I need to automate drills. And where do I want to put them? I want a space in between for running materials. Let's make it the same size as these guys. So from the box, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 empty lanes, and then the real lane one. So this is where our bus will go. Pull this across here, mark like that. Now from the bus, we've got the vertical and a space and a box. I'll this line out a little bit. See, I'm gonna have to dig out for the market stuff. Anticipated. So there's our placement. So the first thing we want to build, start from the top, or look for quote air quotes Mark II. Mining drill Mark II. Drills Mark I. Cooling systems are used. I am going to move all that by hand. And I am going to bring the mining drills in the output bin. I think I'm going to work these from right to left. Early, my bus goes. You know what? Maybe I'll do Mark II and further stuff. What have we got here? 4 drills. We've got a mining drill Mark II. Got a blast drill. Uses mining drills. We haven't unlocked mining drill Mark III if there is one. Okay. I'll do the blast drills and the Mark II drills. Yeah. Let's do them in the order they are on the sheet. Make sure. Iron frames and processor units are both actually automated. So, output. We'll limit storage after we've put some of these in. I'm going to give you 50. I'm going to limit storage to blast drills. Limit that to 1 stack. And our reinforced iron frames and processor. Now, how much of these do we need? 4 of the output. 4 of the output. 4 drills, 4 frames, and 10 processor units. Want 50. That's 125 processor. Processors. Carrying a bunch of them. I've got a bunch more over there. 120. Go. And 50 of the reinforced. So that will start making our blast drills. This is our mining drill Mark II. We're going to do something very similar. this is drills. Output are our mining drill Mark IIs. We're going to want a bunch of these. We'll pick up some mining drills here. $50 of those. I'm going to limit the storage stacks for now. That'll be 100 of these. We need a second stack if we're going to build that many. Go. So building 100 is 50 reps. So I need 200 cooling units. Units there, and we've cooling units in our inventory. 200 of them. Nope. Yep. And we also need processor units. I need, I think that's 250. Okay. See what that. So that gets our tier 2. Next is smelter Mark II. Last smelter. Let's do them in the order that they are. Very similar here. Are going to start with, oh, sure, I'm actually building enough of the storage to stacks. Same thing here, because I need to move bulk. That force. Okay, so we drop guys in. We are building 2 smelters, and our other ingredients are ceramic tile. You and processor. So if we're going to build 50 of these, that means we're doing 12.5 reps. Well, 50 is not going to finish out the last set of 4 because 50 isn't divisible by 4. So 48. We're doing 24 iterations, so 240 ceramic tile. $250 will do, and 480, call it 500 processor units. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Processor units take a while to make. Let's go make sure I have cranked up my processor units. I may need to do a specialized production area that just produces processor units in bulk. For now, I will just let him run. Yeah, 16 per minute's not a lot. We built enough cooling units. I should have just left this stacked up high too. Again, we're back to the question of, are we scaling factory bigger or are we scaling our wait time? I think you need to scale the wait. So that's got the first of the smelter Mark II. So now we do last smelter. The way we did the other ones. We have 50 smelters left. Storage to 1 stack. Last smelter. So we know how to filter smelter mark. Get to that. I could just copy the is steel. So for 50 blast smelters, I need what's that? 2 per smelter inputs. We're going to get 100. 100. That's 25 reps. That's 50. And that's 50 steel. And that is 500 ceramic tons. Pick up some. Yeah, we'll pick up some. Okay, so there's blast furnace. Smelter Mark II, blast smelter. Apparently I can't make smelter Mark III quite yet. Yeah, there's Smelter Mark III. We need to upgrade Sierra, so it's going to have to go off in the next row. Assembler Mark IIIs. Had those set up before. They require relay circuits, electric motor. I think we're going to punt these to the next row. So we need to make relay circuits and electric motors in quantity before I can start feeding the ladders. We've made Thresher, Mark II, relay circuits, electric motors. How about that? Crank generator Mark II, relay circuits, electric motors. So we need to build relay circuits and electric motors. I'm thinking I will just tack it onto this line. I'll leave a gap. So what are my what's my recipe for? Boom. So relay circuits I can either package up 50 advanced circuits or I can build processor. And a processor array, we can either package up processors or 4 plant matter bricks with not producing plant matter. Find a way to get bulk plant matter bricks. So we need to build processor arrays out of accumulate processor units. I think that's guess I'm going to build it here. So let's see if I process array. If I want this scaled up, output per minute. It's 8 input. This does 24, so I can do 3 of these machines from 3 would give us 48. I'm going to do 6 machines making process. 6. Dare I go 12? I think I'm going to go machine gap. And 11. So all of these guys need their inputs and outputs set up in parallel. And their rates are all low. I am not going to fiddle with the filters. I just realized I could use long inserters on half of these. Yeah. We have room. Let's make it easy to lay out. Okay, so the 2 inputs are plant matter frames and electrical thingies. 12. Get my count. Not going to need it. And that turns out 4, which is for these. Output. Not use up our few remaining. Bucket back there. Actually, go. Plant matter frame. We need a total of 96 per minute plant matter frames. Oh boy. Plant matter frame production. I can't count on my stockpile anymore because I'm no longer producing them. Means we need to build the plant matter frame farm. Put it over here. By 12 tunnel. Sudden redesign. And we are starting to get frame issues. I am beginning with. That could be because it's a 12 by 12 mold. Yeah. Okay, the 12 by 12 mole is a challenge to the system. Now that could be the majority of the user interface issues I was having before, because it was digging with the mole where I wound up spinning my wheels a lot. We're going to need a Kindlevine farm, and I don't think we have a way to sync the Kindlevine extract, so simple farm turns out the basic stuff, stems. I'm going to turn the stems into frames, and we're going to use the frames. I need 100 per minute on the frames. Why do I get the feeling I'm going to wind up with a much bigger farm than I anticipate? Take a look at our that matter. Okay. Stems. That's what is in my records. I put up an assembler here, check it. So the rates in my my recipe gathered is wrong. I am going to need these machines. And does it at 5 to 8. The bulk of my numbers came from Tectonica Calculator, and almost all of them are right. Once in a while they're wrong, and sometimes they're wrong in recipes that I don't use often. Might matter frame. Actually, X8 currently at 40 per minute, and the output is X5 at 5 per minute. And define stems. Use a Thresher Mark II. So Mark II Thresher will handle 30 gardens. It's 30 per minute. Output 80 per stem. So a Thresher Mark II and a full set of gardens be more than I need. Hold on, I need 96 frames per minute, and one of our tumblers putting out 48, 40, 2.4 frames. We need 60 per minute. We divide by 3. So we need 20 gardens. Let's do a full, I'll tell you what, let's lay out the full 30 and a Mark II Thresher, and we will make what we can make. And let's see here. I'm going to go to the 3x3s because that lines up with the way my build works for the planter. Out. Going to rough this in. Have out like that. Ladder here. A Y belt that's going to come down here. Turn. Garden is there. And there's the width of my garden. Going to run this all the way up. So this is turning into a bit of a yak shaving operation as I continue to try to rough out my Mark II and Mark III gizmos, because I need those fancy parts which require the simplest thing in the world, which is a plant matter frame, which I'm no longer automating because it was conflicting with making my mining charges. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the 12x12 here. What's going to cause these red face problems? I'll just deal with it. Steer to the right a little bit so we have some overlap with our core, so we get a nice clean edge there. And now we pay the price on the UI. Two back to 5x5. And this is going to be other edge. My farms are basically 4 3x3 tiles, one. Total of.
You've built a decent little garden with those planters, Breaker, but I want to see a farm.
Okay, assemblers, output. Now, if I'm sky one to the right, I could flat race. I think I'm going to do that. Widen our farm by a mile. And all around. Not do the top loop because that's going to depend on where we are, our thresher. There. Now, in this case, I don't need to do much more farm. I'm going to make it line up. There we go. I'm going to make it line up with the 5x5s here. So we need an output middle here somewhere, and we need to input them to, and I do want to use boxes. Admit right off that we 30 per minute out of the box. Need a box over here. Take inputs from here and here. Got it over that. And it's going to do 15 per minute on each side, so that's efficient. I will use upgrade on this guy in a moment. Really wanted to line this guy up any way I can. Put it there. This over here. A murder. Vine seat. Bit of a safety net. Cell. And we actually have 90 per minute output. Just like I'm actually going to seed this by putting plants in, start getting our output. The box up. This. we need to... The whole point of this is not to box up a bunch of stems. What am I doing? The point of this, take all the output from this and turn it into frames. I figured I needed, what, 3? Tell you what, let's make this dependent upon what I actually observe for my rates. Start off by putting, well, let's see, 15, 30 by 6, 30 by 6. Thinking of rounding it up, just putting 200 in, and then we'll see what the overkill is. Actually, let's do 180. We need to out. $180. So our actual output. Upgrade this. May have lost one loop. 2. We lost 2 in the loop. 2 more. Oh, we had 4 in there. So 90 per minute, and this is input at 25, so 4 of the and cheap insert. Output 40 per minute. Cheap inserters on output. And over here, I will put our... This is going to look like a buffer box, even though it's going to go nowhere. This is unconstrained. So if I wanted to bring a belt out with the frames, it would be from here. So eventually we will get Mark II platters, which basically take 1 minute per plant instead of 4 minutes. So that quadruples the output rate. So instead of 30, we would do 8, and we wouldn't be filling them up. It means a much more compact farm in terms of platters, or the same number of platters and a lot more threshers. And I am going all of my plant matter frames back in this box. 1,000 of them. There, we now have plant matter frames. 100 plant matter frames coming out here. What am I making? 90 per minute. Right. So this is doing 144. I think I am going to die out. Head back that way. I'm going to get up above the level of the assemblers. Come to here. I'm all the way down to here. And there's my flyover for plant matter frames. And actually, we're doing it. I don't need to get any of them. Your other input are these guys. Inputs here are iron, and iron I can take with a long inserter. And this is going to be for coils. 12, 24, 48 coils per minute. Turns out 36 we're going to need. And this is going to be taking in copper, slow copper. Make sure that doesn't create a hub there. I have tried playing with automatic hubs turned off. Well, I had them on originally and it was causing some problems. I saw it off and I turned it off and it avoided all the problems, but then I had to do manual hubs everywhere, and I made a mistake on that often enough that I think I'm going to leave them on and just turn them off if I get any really finicky, fiddly situations. Other input is iron. So we're in here. Iron comes across. I bring it all the way over here. I won't be able to walk through there. I'm going to take it off the end. I need copper. Let's start off with. I can put copper. Bring you over here, which plus over here. Did I really make that tight? I did. Okay. And copper. Same bus. I'm gonna bring it. That'll make our copper coils. Coils will go over to here, be combined with iron to electrical. Go over here to gather up that's 192. So that is more processors than you can get on a belt. We're going to take the first 6 of them and put them in a box. It's going to take 4 fast inserters to load the box. How about take the processor box number 1 viewed in 2 rows. Wait a minute. Our problem was we need to do 100 per into their stuff. So I am going to take the whole thing here. And this is cut it in. Oh, wait a minute. I have Mark II belts. I already Mark II. Belts yet. Son of a. I really could use 2 belts right now. Game is over. Why did I not do this? For our rates. Oh. So we need 3 fast inserters to feed this at full speed. Okay, there's that. And it puts our guy and components. We'll be throttled by how fast we can. Okay, so this belt, the output of the processor, Mark II. size of this guy is new and different. Are taking all of the processor. Take a lot of input and output. Oh, wait. What if I can longer? This is a real spec. Other half here. Three, four, six. This guy doesn't actually grab go in there. So that's not actually going to ever leak any until this is full, so we're going to limit the storage there. This is not our primary producer of processors. This is our production line for these guys. Now let's not worry about this. Okay, so now we have some processor. And I really don't need to do that for. Going to be consuming storage too. GU. So 4 stacks of these belts turn stacks of those. Other in scope. River thorn extract. Parts. Packs of each. Packs of each. I'll pick up some copper parts. Take a look at each one of these. They ought to let these more. Let's see. Have plenty of that. I only need. stack should be good. Copper frame. I thought I had increased the limits on these. Oh, I have a whole bunch of those. Okay. Good. I don't know how many of these I need. Carry one stack. Same here. Forest copper. I already dumped all my. I have a lot of those for some reason. Actually, the easiest way to do it, none of them, is here at the. Click here to move all of the inventory. Select. Gotta make sure sort it before you start. There. There's the first of the difficult. Only a difficult because I all those machines just to make what I consider to be a small quantity. Basically, it's 25 to 1. So this is really turning out 8 of these units per minute. That's not too. Took a dozen machines, processor. That we really need to flip this over to the other technology sometime soon, which requires plant matter bricks again. Keep coming back to plant matter brick. So the next difficult thing we want. Advanced circuits and relay circuits. The advanced circuits in bulk, which requires more processor units. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a second floor over these processor units and do the same thing again Oh, that will double. What? Can't support this. Cut him in half. Guy is advanced circuits. It's 32 per minute of each of those. So we bring Atlantum ingots slide. Here down. Other part is cooling unit. Oh, and we're going to need splitting. We need to make 2 boxes. Do assembly. We're going to go up the middle. Need to leave space for Atlantum ingots. And we still need coolers. I really want to balance these. And have half of them go to a box, half of them something else. Cooling units are going to have to slide in there. And I think that we won't have anything. A total of 64 cooling units per minute. Go. So, admin's growing. I was hoping to keep admin simple, but it's these difficult parts where we don't quite have the technology to build them efficiently. Still having to do throw bulk at it thing. So fortunately, we don't need. Iron history. Yep. These two still need. Yes. Extra. Put filter inserters on. I don't forget what they are. Either bring him over this line, split it out in the middle, so, or I can. There. Iron. That's my two. But parts here should have no circuits. I mean this that way. Some relay circuits, the 50 cap you backs of the cap you. Stack. Okay, so there's the second difficult part. And the difficult part are running along. I just electric motors. It's not actually that difficult because we have steel on the bus. Those are being made, and those. I'm just going to drop you on the end. Are making crazy how this part went from being difficult to not difficult because I had everything all ready to go. Primary input, I'll call it that. Frame here, oh, electric frame. And we need ceramic parts. Correct. Carrying a bunch. I should be carrying a bunch. Dropped, say, a stack of ceramic parts because I have them. I put into frames. The other thing, steel. Bus. Should be, guys. Copy. That one. Leave stealing its line in the middle. There you are. So now we are building with our difficult parts in place. I am going to let this run for continuing to make part belts. That's good. Stuff to work. Do your work. At this point, it just needs to run, produce our 3 difficult parts down here. Hate the way we're all nice and organized until down to this. Anyway, I will end